welcome to the Funkbutter Mind Shifting Factory, where we all learn together how to build a life of freedom and well-being. With your host, Zeb Funkbutter. Most have only lived during times of economic growth, yet the future will be based on less. The days of everything being based upon more are gone. The age-old practice of gathering wild food is called foraging, and this was Zeb's mission on this beautiful spring day. He hopped on his bicycle to forage wild celery, radish, fennel, and sea beans in the countryside. Since they say that you are what you eat, Zeb decided to forgo any nuts. The grunion run from March through September and only at night. During a receding high tide, and if you pick the correct spot at the correct beach, you see thousands of small 5-inch long silvery fish wiggling in the sand to lay their eggs. Grunion hunting is allowable with hand use only, no implements. Daylight savings time begins on the second Sunday in March. Arizona and Hawaii are the only two states that do not participate in this semi-annual time change. Zeb drove out to the country to connect with nature and do a little foraging. He picked wild asparagus. I could say it was the dawning of asparagus. Asparagus! With a bucket, a pitchfork, and a simple hand shovel, Zeb went clam digging. The tide wasn't quite low enough, necessitating an extra hour of waiting time. Zeb said, "Sure, when Aphrodite poses naked in a clamshell scallop, she's a goddess. But when I try it, I'm a pervert and banned from the aquarium." Interact with nature, save money, get exercise, go foraging. July produces enormous amounts of wild blackberries, cherries, gooseberries, elderberries, as well as boysenberries, plantains, and mint. Since the Ren Fair was outside the city limits, it was a short jaunt to open countryside where Zeb went 22 plinking. He saw and shot 2 ducks, one swimming in the pond and the other was just standing on the ground. 22 ammo cost 8 cents per round, so his future 4 meals cost him 16 cents. Ring a ding ding, Zeb. Crawdads, crayfish, freshwater lobsters, or mudbugs, whatever you call them, these freshwater crustaceans are good eating and free. Grab a net and a bucket and head down to your local creek or pond to hunt for these mini lobsters. Oh, and Zeb mentioned an extraordinarily grisly side note saying, "I don't often travel to Louisiana, only on a occasion. But I did learn how these 2 Cajuns know they're hungry. Their bungholes stop burning." Oh, jeez. Fruits, vegetables, mushrooms, and nuts are all free for the taking, and August is a key foraging month. Strong yields of apples, blueberries, grapes, huckleberries, chokeberries, and buffalo berries are prevalent. Pine nuts, English walnuts, lion's mane mushrooms, and crab apples are also plentiful in August. Be absolutely positive when mushroom picking, as poisonous ones often look similar to the safe varieties. They can be deadly if you do not get a liver transplant within days of illness. During a minus tide, Zeb found a 2.5-pound spiny lobster tangled in a net. He immediately killed it, so if caught by a game warden, cop, or lifeguard, he just says it washed ashore dead and he wanted to scare his girlfriend. What he really does is promptly put it in his ice chest and head home to live it up with his steamed lobster plus spinach and rice. Zeb polished off a $60 restaurant quality meal for 20 cents worth of rice. Go, Zeb, go! If interested in discovering 600 more methods to eat for free while both saving money and improving the environment, enjoy Zeb's book on how to eat for free 365 days a year. Rattlesnake meat tastes like a cross between Cornish game hen and pork. Zeb has a wooden box with a funnel door trap and puts a live mouse in it for bait to go rattlesnake trapping first thing in the morning. 6 hours later, there was a beautiful 5-foot western diamondback in the trap. Zeb cautions, "I am not necessarily advocating catching mice on a sticky pad, But meat trapping is indeed a viable method to eat for free. Zeb got 2 meals out of the Diamondback, plus sold the snakeskin as a hat band for $18. Go, Zeb, go! Sorry, but I don't need a fucking hall pass in order to walk on desolate dirt trails, was how Zebediah chastised the Gestapo forest ranger for hassling him. I was minding my own business, out plinking with my .22 rifle and pollywog gathering for my fish pond. I did catch 100 or so pollywogs, plus shot 2 jackrabbits for a delicious rabbit stew. Oh, and Gaylord and his macho mustache spinelessly sashayed on down the road. Creativity is to observe, adapt, overcome, and be able to see the value in solutions from unexpected sources. Living financially low on the hog, Zeb has no problem finding and harvesting wild foods. Autumn has fewer opportunities for foraging, causing today to be Zeb's final gathering attempt of the year. Ginkgo nuts, chestnuts, pecans, and acorn yields are strong likelihood. Common sense would imply treating different risk classes in different ways, so be extra careful with wild mushrooms. Late September, the hen of the woods variety and the chanterelle variety are ready for picking. Also be on the lookout for persimmons, rose hips, and prickly pears. As an experiment, Zeb took his final exam on magic mushrooms. Yep, he passed with flying colors. They never knew what hit them. And since cars are a technology they are not equipped to avoid, 1.2 million deer are killed annually by motorized vehicles. This equates to about 66 million pounds of free-range venison per year. Yes, we are talking about eating roadkill. Some are saddened to see Bambi dead alongside the road, but Zeb's philosophy is that it is better to get some nourishment rather than letting the animal die in vain. Zeb has a reverence for the circle of life and understands what it means to be part of the food chain. He believes that eating this motorist mana helps one appreciate the animal's life and is, in effect, a sacred way of eating. Wild game has no antibiotics nor growth hormone injections like most meats available in your supermarket. Plus, I just hate to think of all that wasted meat. In order to field dress the deer as soon as possible for both health and taste purposes, Zeb drags the majestic animal further off the side of the road. He or people he knows have also eaten moose, elk, wallaby, bear, badger, hedgehog, squirrel, rabbit, pheasant, kangaroo, and beaver. Fox and raccoon are widely eaten but do carry rabies, and possum can carry tuberculosis. Best to boil these 3 prior to cooking. If on a budget and in need of inexpensive meat, get deer balls. They're always under $1. The Funkbutter Mind Shifting Factory appreciates you taking a gander at Zeb's books and leaving comments below. Because life is to be lived, not just endured.